He didn't speak Spanish. He didn't know any flag other than the US flag. His name was Alex, and he arrived in America when he was only 2 years old, in his mother's arms, fleeing brutal violence in Honduras. He doesn't remember the trip or the border. All he knows is here. He grew up in Dallas. He went to kindergarten, played soccer at school, won a medal at the science fair. English was his only language. The American national anthem was his only song. While other boys dreamed of being astronauts or basketball players, Alex wanted only one thing: to belong. His mother always told him, "Be quiet, son. We can't draw attention to ourselves." Alex didn't understand. He was a child. He wanted to play, run, be free, but little by little he began to understand. Other classmates got their driver's licenses. He couldn't. Others filled out college applications. He didn't even have a social security number. Even so, Alex kept going. He studied, worked quietly, helped his mother with the bills. He never had any problems with the law. He was an ordinary boy, American in every way, except on paper, and it was precisely that piece of paper that destroyed everything. One day, he was stopped at a traffic stop. Nothing serious, an expired document, but that was enough. The system cross-referenced his information and discovered what he had always tried to hide. Alex was not a citizen. He was not a resident. He was illegal. The following week, he received a deportation order. He laughed when he read it. He thought it was a mistake. Deported to where? To a country I've never seen, that speaks a language I barely understand? But it wasn't a joke. It was real. And the worst was yet to come. Being deported to a country you've never known is like being thrown into the dark. Alex couldn't sleep anymore. He spent his nights staring at the ceiling, trying to imagine what it would be like to live in a place he had no memory of. Honduras. He only knew it from newspaper headlines: violence, gangs, poverty. It was as if they were saying, "Go home," but he thought, what home? At school, his friends began to notice. He stopped smiling. He stopped showing up. He avoided questions. At 19, Alex felt like his life was stuck in limbo. Not really American, not completely foreign. Just a shadow between two worlds. The deportation letter gave him a deadline. The clock was ticking, and fear began to consume everything. How am I going to live in a country where I don't know anyone? What if they catch me there? What if they kill me? What if I never come back? His mother cried in secret. She felt guilty. She said, "I just wanted to protect you, but now I feel like I've handed you over to a nightmare." They tried to appeal, lawyers, petitions, letters to the press. But the system was cold, impersonal, relentless. To the government, Alex was just an adult in an irregular situation, but to those who knew him, he was a son, a friend, a whole future being ripped out by the roots. And then the day came, the final notification: date, time, flight. Destination: Tegucigalpa, Honduras, the country where he was born, but which he had never seen. And now it would be his new prison. On the morning of the flight, the silence inside the house was suffocating. Alex's mother prepared coffee as usual, but her hands were shaking so much that the cup fell off the tray. Alex said nothing. He just bent down, picked up the pieces, and put everything in the trash, as if that small gesture was his way of saying goodbye. He put on his favorite shirt, the one he wore for school presentations, the same one his mother bought with her salary from cleaning a family's house. In his pockets, he carried only his Honduran passport, recently delivered by the consulate, and an old photo. Him at age 5, with a backpack on his back, and the smile of someone who didn't yet know what illegal meant. At the airport, no one spoke much. His mother held his hand so tightly that it seemed as if she were trying to stop time. Before passing through security, she finally broke the silence. "Perdón, mijo." I just wanted you to have a chance. Alex took a deep breath and swallowed the tears that had been stuck in his throat for days. He replied, "You gave me much more than a chance, Mom. You gave me a life." She couldn't hold back. She cried. He cried, but there was no time for more. The immigration officer looked at his watch, then at Alex. It was time, and it was there, in that last hug, that everything seemed to stop. 15 seconds that would hold 15 years of history as he walked toward the gate. Alex didn't look back, because he knew, if he did, he might not be able to go on. As he boarded the plane, he sat by the window. The city lights were still on, and he thought, how many people like me are there right now, living in fear, hidden in plain sight? When the plane took off, he closed his eyes and imagined what the place he was going to would be like. No friends, no home, no language, just a life that wasn't his, waiting for him on the other side of the border. But what Alex didn't know was that something was about to happen, something that would change everything. 3 days later, a letter arrived in the mail. It was simple, with Alex's handwriting, written by hand, addressed to the school where he had studied for over 10 years. The secretary, not knowing what it was, opened it and read it. She cried in the second paragraph. The next day, the letter was on social media. In less than 24 hours, it went viral. More than 3 million people had read it and cried. In the letter, Alex said, "I didn't come here by choice. I arrived carried in my mother's arms, trying to escape fear. I grew up trying to be invisible. But loving this country was inevitable. It gave me everything. It taught me to dream. It taught me to fight. Even when it didn't accept me, I still called it home. Now I'm being sent to a place I don't know, where my life is worth less than a document. I'm not asking for pity. I'm just asking you to see me as a human being. How many Alexis do you know? How many are sitting next to you at school, delivering your pizza, cleaning the floor at your company? They are not a threat. They are part of you, and maybe, if you had let me stay, I would have made this country better too." The commotion was immediate. Former teachers began recording videos. Colleagues organized candlelight vigils. Some people drove for hours just to leave flowers on the sidewalk outside Alex's house. His mother couldn't finish reading the letter. She got stuck on the part where he thanked her for every simple meal and every silent hug. TV channels began to cover the story. Hashtags were created. Politicians commented. People from all sides, conservatives and liberals, said the same thing. This isn't right. And while Alex tried to survive in Tegucigalpa, sleeping on a distant cousin's couch, not knowing what to do, something was growing on the other side of the border, a wave of voices, a crowd saying, "Bring him back." Alex's words echoed louder every day. What started as a simple letter turned into a movement. His name was in the newspapers, on radio shows, on the front pages of websites. Even celebrities started commenting, "If this kid isn't American, then what is?" But the most unexpected moment came when a woman with a firm voice and a determined look appeared live on national television. It was Mrs. Thompson, Alex's 8th grade English teacher. With his letter in her hands, she spoke directly to the cameras. "I taught this boy. I saw the effort. I saw him translating notes for his mother. I saw him offering to help his classmates. I saw him cry silently because he couldn't go on a field trip with his class." Alex is not just a student. He is a reflection of millions of young people living between two realities. And today, I ask you, bring him back. Bring our student home. The next day, the online petition surpassed 1 million signatures. Lawyers found a legal loophole. An emergency request for reconsideration was sent directly to the immigration office in Washington, D.C. The wait was agonizing. Days went by without a response. Alex was beginning to accept that his new life would be on streets he didn't know. with accents that sounded strange, trying to remember that he still had value, even without belonging anywhere. But then the phone rang. It was his lawyer. The voice on the other end was trembling. "Alex, listen carefully. The immigration department has reversed its decision. Silence, you can come back. You're going home." Alex couldn't believe it. He started laughing. Then he cried. Then he did both at the same time. The same city that had expelled him now wanted him back. Not out of pity, but out of justice. When the plane landed on American soil, it was dawn. The city lights flickered on the horizon, but to Alex, everything shone as if it were the first time. He clutched his passport tightly, the same document that, for so long, had defined who he was, or who he couldn't be. At the arrival gate, there was a crowd, schoolmates, neighbors, teachers, activists, strangers, all holding signs. "Welcome home, Alex. You belong here. We fought for you." But it was when he saw his mother that Alex finally broke down. She was there, her eyes red from sleepless nights, but her arms open wide as if she had never lost faith, even when the world seemed to have given up on him. "Mom, mi niño." The hug lasted longer than any words could express. The cameras captured the moment. The video of the reunion went viral, even more so than the letter itself, and for the first time, Alex didn't feel invisible. He felt whole. In the weeks that followed, he was invited to give interviews, speak at schools, and tell his story. But what moved him most was when other young people approached him and said, "I'm like you, and now I'm not ashamed anymore." Alex understood then that what had happened to him was bigger than himself. He wasn't just a case, an exception, a moving story. He was a symbol of resistance, of hope, and of a truth that many people insist on forgetting. No one chooses where they are born, but everyone deserves a place to call home. And on that day, as he looked up at the sky of the city where he grew up, he smiled, because finally he was home.